Today's going to be a kind of slow episode FF7 wise because we're entering a little side questy thing. So I thought I'd talk a little about Final Fantasy history, how we got to FF7, all my nonsense hot takes so everyone could get angry about it. We've been fighting the Shinra for a long time at this battlefield. Even now, we're still settled in for a long war with them. If you aren't in a hurry, would you help us fight them? Listen, we don't want to push you, but if you're in the middle of something, why don't you finish that first? No, we're going to help. We're going to do this side quest. Really, then go on up and they'll fill you in on the details. It's basically Shinra sends assaults on this place for some possibly explained reason, possibly not yet, and will lead a defense in a sort of quick, real-time strategy-ish game. Yeah. So, FF starts with FF1, and Square was kind of going out of business, but then they had a big hit with FF1. And FF1 sort of, I know it's not the first game to do so, but it sort of sets the baseline for how games of this type are going to work. Which is, it has a class system. You start the game and you select between, I believe, 6 classes. White mage, we can't use this yet. White mage that has access to healing magic. Black mage that has offensive magic. Red mage that has access to both, but not the better stuff of both. Kind of mid-level stuff of either. Up to mid-level. And is also not a terrible attacker. Knight, physical attacker. Monk, physical attacker. Worse defense than Knight because it doesn't have armor and shields, but also much cheaper to equip because it just uses its fists. You don't have to buy lots of gear for it. And does very good damage. And Thief, which I think is just like objectively a pretty terrible option. Like, Steal, as I recall, is not really a thing, so it is like higher dodge rates that end up just being not very useful and is just a very bad attacker relative to others. I think you just want to make FF1 harder. What you do is you put thieves in your party. As I recall. It's been a long time. Now this is something I never thought anyone would ever climb up here. Your eyes are different. Well, anyhow, doesn't know soldier eyes. Any minute now, this will be a battlefield against Shinra. You better get down before you get involved. You mean Shinra? He just said Shinra, true. The Shinra. This is dumb dialogue. Oh, this is something I was actually going to talk a bit about as I move through FFs, but a lot of times, like, whoever is in your party gets random dialogue, and because the game doesn't know which members will be in your party, it's usually really extraneous dialogue. It doesn't say much, it doesn't really advance the plot. So oftentimes it's stuff like, whichever 2 characters I brought with me would have been like, Barrett might have said like, damn Shinra, and Eris would have said like, Shinra. You know, and they'll all basically say the same thing, but in a slightly different way characterized for them. And it's such meaningless dialogue, and it's to make it feel like your party is really in the game, and it's probably a good thing, but it does sometimes just feel like your party members are idiots, right? And, you know, there's some trade-offs there. You could probably do it better. In general, FF7, I think, does a good job of having your party stay pretty plot relevant, which is a difficult thing to do. A lot of RPGs, like, a particularly bad example of this is a not good game in a fantastic series. Shadow Hearts 3, basically everyone in your party has no connection to anything after the 10 minutes focused on them are up. And so they're kind of just given lines in group settings so that they still exist, but the lines have no connection to anything. The game is about 2 characters, and it never figures out how to include the rest. Even though some of the rest are quite fun and have some good jokes, they're not really included in what's going on. And it just ends up feeling really flat. But FF7 will do better there. I just do think it's funny when people are given lines like someone says Shinra, and they're like, you mean Shinra? Like, yeah, that's what they just said. It appears you have a problem with Shinra, too. After all, you climbed up here. Why not listen to what I have to say for a moment? I guess so. Do you know what's at the top of this mountain? The reactor and the condor. So this is a reactor. I can see you're very perceptive. Yes, it's a reactor and a condor. It seems the Shinra doesn't like the idea of having a condor on top of the reactor. What's so wrong with having a condor on top of the reactor? It's not very logical. It seems there's some type of special materia in the reactor above us, and because the condors came, the Shinra rushed troops here. The military wants to get the condor and all the villagers off this mountain. The condors are now warming their eggs, which hatch only once every few years. We would like to protect the condors from being harmed. New lives. Condors' eggs, a real work of nature. We've got to protect the life of the planet. So, to protect the eggs, are you going to protect the reactor? Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to fight Shinra ourselves. That's why we have hired soldiers to help us. As our sponsor, you can help us with a contribution, or by fighting alongside of us. What do you think? You want to join us in our fight? Cloud. You decide what we're going to do. Oh, we're going to do this. Cloud, thanks. I got it. Let me lend a hand, too. Now I think we can use the shops and see what they have. But yeah, FF1 sort of sets the baseline. It sets up a class system where, each of the classes is basically going to be doing one thing throughout the entire course of the game, right? You're not... we did buy a lot of hypers. Actually, maybe we should use the hypers. I didn't want to use them before Midgar Zalem, because then Midgar Zalem will have an easier time one-shotting us. But at this point, may as well get more limit breaks. It's not like we've been taking way too much damage and won't be able to survive anything. And more limit breaks will really increase our damage output. We could buy a second restore here. You know what? I think we may as well. I think it would be nice to not have just one character that can heal if necessary. And which sense is further along? Let's equip the further along sense. Sense is not a materia that gains anything from mastery. So, like, if we master one and sell it and then have another, we'll still have a sense materia. And it's not like we really need a sense materia at all. So we can get a full heal here, which is nice. But, so FF1. We have our class system. I think it's also quite a well-paced game. The world opens up at a nice pace. You start running around here, you get a little boat that can take you down shallow water, or a little car that can take you a certain amount. The game opens up at a nice rate where you have a nice combination of exploring, but still having it kind of clear what area you're in and where to go next. And also, each new town has new gear for your party to equip, sometimes new spells. It's all pretty well paced and a pretty well put together game. It is very grindy. There are parts of the game where just you get an enemy like every 2 steps, and that can create funny challenge in some places. If you walk down the ogre corridor, it's just like this circle. It's a trick basically, and once you're in it, there is literally a battle every step against relatively tough enemies, and that can be pretty scary as you go around the circle trying to find treasure or to continue with the game, and you just find, oh no, I've been on a loop and it was the hardest thing in the game. Thanks for accepting. Let me explain our strategy. The enemy will climb the mountain looking for the reactor. We will leave the trap for them and hire soldiers to protect the area. Well, that's all, but the village doesn't have any money. Even if we wanted to fight, our hands are tied because we're broke. If we hired 1 soldier, we would need 400 gil. So if we hire 20 soldiers, we must have 8,000 gil. So if you folks have the time, we would like you to use your own money to hire these soldiers, buy the trap, set it up, and command the troops. If you're pressed for time, we'd like you to help us with the money. If you give us the money, we can then hire soldiers with the funds and block Shinra's attack. We know that what we're asking is selfish. We have sent our wives and children to another village. We are resigned to our fate. Let's get back to square one. If the enemy penetrates our shed, you'll have to fight them immediately. So you can let the enemies get to you and you just fight a not particularly hard encounter. Well, just because you lost once, it's not the end of the world. But if you lose repeatedly, it could be dangerous. I think the fastest thing to do might actually just be to lose the fight. But that said, I think we're gonna do this properly. Hey, this one climbing up here looks like they did just right. Please, any help is appreciated. So to get a good thing later, you need to win just 1 fight here. Could you make it at least 4,000 gil? I shouldn't have bought the restore materia. Alright, I haven't sold any of the weapons we've had. We won't actually need 4,000 gil here, I don't think. We could just let the enemy come to the top and fight the fight. That would, I think, be a totally reasonable thing to do, saving money. But I do want to try to play the game properly. So we're gonna... Can I only sell materia here? I forget. Items, okay. We're gonna sell leather glove. We don't need that. Bronze bangles. We're never gonna need those again. You know, equipment is once you're past it. Let's keep that, actually. Well, that only sells for 1. 4 slots. Don't need it. Peacemaker, by the time we get the character who uses it, I think we'll have better options available. Metal Knuckle we don't need. Mithril Claw we don't need. Oh, we're well over already. Okay. So let's head back. So yeah, gameplay-wise, I think FF1 kind of sets the table for how FFs are going to work. It's a journey. You steadily unlock new equipment as you go. Each town has, a little bit of dialogue and some people to talk to, and kind of sends you the next place in the story. 10 enemies, there appear to be many beasts. You may want to deploy more attackers. There's sort of a triangle system where each unit you send out is good against a specific enemy unit, and so you want to send out the one that has the advantage type. We can set units before they come. We can set units anywhere down to this point on the field, but honestly, we're just gonna start the battle, and we're gonna see what comes and then specifically send out units that are against that. So this is a beast. Beasts are weak to attackers. We know this. So we'll send out attacker. And we will tell you to move down and fight this one. And let's make another attacker over here at the lowest point we can. How low you can put units depends on how low you've put units already. So if I had put an attacker on the field already at the lowest point, I would be able to put these further down. Can also speed up the battle if we're bored. And it doesn't feel too wasteful here to do so. We're going to try to buy the minimum possible because I don't want to spend more than I have to. Now, FF1, basically the characters aren't real characters at all. And the story is, technically there's some time travel shenanigans and whatnot, but the game is basically a fetch quest of like, here's the 4 elemental dungeons. Defeat the 4 elemental monsters. Now beat the villain behind them. So now these two fight. It's not a great RTS, but that's okay. And you can be sent over to wherever it is. Because we're hitting for 30 to every 12 they hit, and we have 180 life to their 180, we can take out a bunch. Now, I am going to want a new enemy because I see a flying thing, and we need something strong against flyers. We need a shooter. And you're going to go for this beast. And we're going to put another shooter over here. And we're going to send you to fight this guy. Alright, that looks good. You can take that. Alright, we'll tell you to keep attacking. Yeah, you will beat the thing you're good at matching up against. Each matchup is very favorable. So as long as you just make the things that it tells you to, you're going to be A-okay. Now, this shooter doesn't really have anything it wants to fight, right? It's going to have trouble against this. Shooters are bad against beasts. So we really want it to go fight this one, but it's not going to get there in time. So I'm going to have it fight the beast anyway. And I'm going to try to send you, I guess, back to here to stop those beasts. And actually, maybe we can send you... Oh, no, actually, you're doing stuff. You're being useful. So you can go towards this one. Actually, let's send you around this way so that you don't fight a beast. We're just switching who's fighting what. And now we could rush the commander, because once the commander is down, I think the fight ends. Let's give that guy support. And you're now going to go for this. And you're going to switch over to this one. This guy's going to go down. Oh, he survived. Good for him. Gotta make sure these two get in combat, or I might have to put something else to block the advance of the wyvern thing. For the flyer. Was it too fast? I think our guy will catch it. Oh no, he went down. Tragic. I have to put something in the way of this. So when it gives me a chance, I will. I guess it should be a big shooter. That's a little expensive. You know what? Let's put just a fighter. Fighters are very generic. They're a little cheaper. They're even against all enemy types, basically, or neutral. But you can see, right, there's no advantage, disadvantage. I'm just trying to slow it down while I save a little money so the shooter can catch up. This was very attempting to be greedy. And we'll send our last 2 units to try to take out the boss thing. Oh, thing already died. Alright. So, can all 4 of our units take out the boss? I should probably time it so they all engage at the same moment. So actually, let's drop back slightly. So that, like, because then it only attacks 1 at a time, right? This is just obvious strategy. But strategy I was not actually going to do. Okay. Now let's wait a little longer. Move back a touch. Alright, time to move in. Can our 4 units beat 1? Goodbye, attacker. 50 damage is a whole bunch. Now, maybe I should drop something else here that is better against it. But hopefully my other people can start shooting at it. It's probably going to need more help. Yeah. So what's good against these? Nothing particular. Catapults are pretty good if you can hold it in place. So let's try a catapult here. Oh, that doesn't do that much damage, but I think it'll take a second for it to get past us. Alright, so it's gonna kill our stoner. It does 50 a hit. Shame we only have 100 life. Yeah. Oh, but you're down to 12. So I think we got it. Sweet. Yeah. So I think FF1 sort of sets up the series gameplay-wise, and it kind of gives a sense of how to progress during a game of this type. Woo, that was good, but Shinra troops will be back. Be sure and scout the area well. We don't know when they'll attack again. We have 2 allies left, so here's 400 gil. You get some money back if enemies don't die. But yeah, I found this just now on the battlefield. Maybe it'll come in handy for you guys. Received Magic Cone. And that's lovely, because we got a better weapon for Tifa and a better weapon for Cloud. But now, we have the best weapon of all for Piggy Man. But it means Restore and all are split up, right? So we're going to now exchange, and we're going to put, I think, Restore and all on Tifa, because she has connected slots. I was trying to keep most magic off her, because Restore lowers strength a bit, but just 1 is okay. And I didn't want to break up Fire and Elemental. No, I do want to break up Fire and Elemental, because, actually, I'm going to give Tifa Wind Elemental. And we should see a significant boost to her against flying enemies. Yeah, this looks good to me. I think this is the best use of Elemental for much of the game, unless you know a boss uses a particular kind of magic, in which case you can exploit it by saying, all right, I'm going to absorb that power, that type of attack, or just lower the damage, not necessarily absorb. But offensively, I think Wind, on average, if you just want to set Elemental on someone and then forget about it, this is the best use. So let's head over to Junon, which is where we heard from the Turks. They are headed to try to follow Sephiroth. Overall, I don't like FF1 all that much. It's a bit grindy for my taste. I think things should have some challenge, but that challenge should be figuring out how the game works, not spending a while grinding levels or just forced to fight tons of random encounters. I think that's just not what I want to be doing with my life. I was much more willing to when I was like 9 years old, but less so now. Actually, let's hang out in the forests for a bit. That seems like a useful thing to do. Let's just run into these forests and sit there for a little while. See what happens. Oh, because I stayed at the place, I totally wasted the Fury status. Because resting gets rid of all negative statuses, and Fury, which makes you take more damage, but limit break faster, is considered a negative status. I guess I don't really care. No, let's give back Fury. I want new limits. And Nanaki does. Red 13. Spoilers. Doesn't even have his second limit yet. It's a range. It's nice that it gives you automatic ways to arrange. And yeah, let's just be in this forest for a little while we talk about FF1, fight some random encounters. I really don't think there's much of a story. The whole, like, beat the 4 elemental monsters thing never really grabbed me. Oh, that's an interesting enemy. Let's steal from them. That just feels like a thing to do. Nothing to steal. That's a shame. Oh, they have good evasion. Or we just happen to hit our 2%. That's a cool looking attack. If this character ever joined our party that we're seeing, it sure would be nice if we had that cool looking attack. Yes, this is the next character we can get for our party. And what you do is you have to beat them in a battle. They are randomly encountered in the forest. Sometimes it takes longer. I wasn't expecting to get it the first try. And now, if you go to the save point, they run off. And sometimes they steal from you. So you have to do this exactly the right order of things. We'll see if I remember it. Man, I can't believe I lost. I should remember it. I've done this many times. You spiky-headed jerk. One more time. Let's go one more time. Now, the trick here is to show complete disinterest in them and mock them. That's the way to get someone to join you. Incidentally, she's right. We are a spiky-headed jerk. I've been saying it the whole time. Not interested. Thinking to run away? Stay and fight. Fight, I said. Alright. Come on, what's the matter? You're pretty scared of me, huh? Petrified. Just so scared. So intimidated. Just as I thought. What do you expect with my skills? Good luck to you guys too. If you feel up to it, we can go another round. Later. You didn't quite leave though. I'm really gonna leave. Really. I think here is when we say... I think we're supposed to show one moment of interest. I think it's wait a second. What is it? You still have something for me? So is that it? I know you want my help because I'm so good. You want me to go with you? Yeah, so where I screw this up is I always think of it that way, of show complete disinterest. And then I start messing up these questions because we're supposed to switch over to showing interest now. That's right. Haha, thought so. You put me in a spot. What should I do? But if you want me that bad, I can't refuse. Alright, I'll go with you. Now that they're committed, we're out. Let's hurry on. Hey! Wait, I haven't even told you my name. So if you don't know the answers to these, basically you can keep fighting her in the forest and trying to get farther in the conversation, and that's not too much of a pain to do. I'm Yuffie. Good to meet you. Heh, just as I planned. Now all I have to do is a little this and a little that. Yuck. Hey, wait up. Wait for me. You know what? Let's use Yuffie. I'm feeling pro Yuffie right now. Crisis Core Yuffie really annoyed me. I think this is a character that, with her lines read by an actor, hopefully me reading doesn't do this, is kind of annoying, but without it is pretty funny. Level 17. Looks pretty reasonable. And now, also, because this game is a lot of just nice decisions. Ooh, throw materia. We can just exchange Piggyman's materia on. Actually, no, maybe we want to use Piggyman. Because this is normal growth. Yeah. And Piggy Man has double growth. And that will level up our materia faster. I'd rather level up the materia faster. Is that right? Yeah. Alright. That's okay too, though. The Yuffie's not, like, that exciting to use. And I would like to take Throw Materia and put that on someone. Let's replace Sense. Sense is so bad. Yeah. And Slight plus to Vitality. Okay, I guess there's not much need to be in the forests anymore. I think the flying enemies in the forest, I think you can steal a good weapon for Yuffie there. And immediately upgrade her. Actually, if that's double growth, maybe we will switch to Yuffie. That doesn't look like the right enemy. Oops. Accidentally save stated when I meant to just be running away. Let's just run away. I hate back attacks. They're so rude. Or could match her magic. Oh, it missed. Oh, these enemies are great for getting limit breaks. They do quite a bit of damage. That's basically free limits. And Cure All is just very powerful healing. Eris also gives nice healing, but this is not a bad second option there. But yeah, overall, I think like FF1 is not a very interesting game for me to ever return to because there really is no story, there's no characters, there's not much to get invested in except kind of grindy dungeon gameplay. And I think if you want that, there's better ways to get that than FF1. But it sets a nice formula for how it should work. It makes sense that it's the game that saved the company and that it led to much better things. In my opinion, better things. My opinion here is definitely correct. If you have FF1 as the best game of the series, I'm very confused. So we are on level 1 limits, and the higher limit break level you are, the harder it is to charge. So now that enemies are starting to be able to hit for like 100 a turn, it is much easier for us to just get limit breaks super regularly. We also have access to Hyper, which makes it fill faster. And yeah, limit breaks are very easily obtained against enemies like this. I think this is the enemy I want to steal from. Alright, we're going to defend on the other characters just so they take a little less damage. Might have to use a cure on Nanaki. Sorry, on Red. On Piggy Man. And I tend to steal when there's just one left, usually because the more left there are, the more damage I'm taking while I'm spending time stealing. Right? This is a little boring. Let's try it twice more. Once more. Did we get it? We got it! Alright. Sweet. So that might be a double growth weapon on Yuffie, in which case I think we will try her for our party. Because everyone we've gotten so far we've used at least a little of. And I think it would be nice to... and you can see, using limits, gained Nanaki a new... God. I'm just going to say Nanaki. Gained Nanaki a new limit break. And we can look at it. And... it casts haste and raises defense percentage. So it is a useful move. It makes us get more turns and makes us dodge more attacks for the rest of the fight, basically. But it is a kind of different limit break than ones we've seen so far. And One reason I think red is interesting is he has slightly more variety in the limit break offerings. Still single growth. Okay, so we're going to stick with Nanaki. Oops. And head to Junon. But overall, I think FF1's a reasonable start for the series. Again, no story, no characters to speak of, nothing to be like emotionally invested in or care about particularly, but a perfectly pleasant game to play and makes sense as a starting point for the series. What happened to this town? It's so run down. So through one game, I would say FF1 is the best FF, but it's just the first game. Hey, this is Shinra Inc.'s elevator. Don't be snooping around here. Oh. Seems like we'll probably have to get past that guard. Ever since Shinra built that city up above during the war, there's been no fish in the water. It's got so polluted. This game really is talking about corporate destruction of environment. Hey, Mr. Dolphin. My name is Priscilla. Now you say it. Don't know if the dolphin's gonna say it. Who are you guys? Are you members of the Shinra Inc.? No, stay calm. That's how it is. Weird line from Cloud. There's just some weird lines in this game, just a few things that are... I guess that makes sense. She says no, and he's like, that's how it is, we're not Shinra, but it was just some weird lines. I don't believe you. Get out of here. Great. Hey, it's a monster. Oh, it is a monster. It's not the dolphin. Be careful, Mr. Dolphin. Oh, don't run towards the monster. Bad move. Hey, hold on. We're coming. And we have a boss fight. Bottom Swell, I think is its name. Now, this is a fun fight if you got Beta, because Beta just destroys it. Oh, we're starting kind of low on life. Okay. So let's launch some limits. Heal a bit. And then I think a really important thing to check against bosses early on in this game, and I really should have against Rufus, is can we poison it? And I think we can. I think this is another boss we can poison. Bio is probably... Maybe Lightning's up there, but Bio is probably... Let's steal. The bosses in this game rarely have anything. Yeah. Bio is a really powerful tool early in the game. We haven't used Choco-Mog yet. Let's see what that looks like. Let's watch a summon animation. Missed. Alright, not ideal, but we'll try it again later. We're getting so many limits. It's getting a lot of moves in a row. But I want to show that we can poison it. Oh, you can't queue up a move during summons. I'm not sure why they did that. You can queue up moves at all other times. Summons look so silly. They're good in this game. 220 damage is pretty good. $320 is even better, but like, I hope Bio works on this. Yeah! So that'll just be permanent damage it's taking. Probably heal here. So this is this boss's special move, and it's kind of like Reno's move. It just takes life from you. Let's try Lunatic High. It just sucks life from you over time, and I think it eventually expires. I don't think if you hit him, it undoes it. I think unlike Reno's. But I don't actually remember, so let's try it. We can hit it specifically. So I think we can punch it. Does it go away? No. It's different from Reno's. Alright, big wave. Probably going to need to heal. I guess maybe not. Because Choco-Mog is only level 1, we can only use it once a fight. So now summon is locked out for Tifa because she has no summons she's able to do. And I like that that you just wait a little and Bio does 78 every little bit of time. Now we have 2 characters in the thing. So she lost her turn. So I guess Nanaki's on healing duty. You'll notice Nanaki's bar fills up much faster now because everyone has haste due to Lunatic High. It's a useful move. And maybe if it uses Moonstrike more, we'll get some dodges in. Oh, she can attack herself. Can she break out of it? I'm confused. I forget how this works. Hey, Bio did it. Yeah, so poisoning bosses at this point in the game, really useful. Really nice weapon. And it's nice when games actually make status effects relevant to playing. I think that's something FFs often forget to do. And here Bio is just genuinely really good. This is bad. You don't think she's dead, do you? Priscilla! Nope, she's not breathing. Hey, that's it. Young man, CPR now. Mouth to mouth? God, what are you gonna do? But she's just a girl. You know I can't. What, you don't know how? Come over here, I'll show you. Guess I gotta do it. Get a quick lesson in CPR. Thought it was urgent. Just take a deep breath, hold it in, then breathe into her. Hurry up and do it. Alright. So I just, let it get somewhere close to the top. I don't try for, quite exact the top. Let's go now. And then just do that a few times. And eventually it works. Not really sure what the mechanic of this is. I think you're just supposed to feel close to the top and go. And it, assigns some number of points each time. And, but you don't need to, get it exactly at the top. Just gotta do it a bunch of times. But the head shake means this... oops, didn't mean to press twice. The head shakes make it feel like you're doing something wrong. But you're probably making progress. I don't know, not the best indicators of what's wanted here. But again, one of those things of FF7 has so many little weird random minigames in it. Actually didn't mean to press that, but that's okay. Again, I don't think it matters much. Weird minigame. We won't return to this one, luckily. Let's go for close to top. There we go. Ugh. Hey, Priscilla, are you alright? Runs off with her. Alright. I think we'll stop here for today. Yeah, Bio's really good. Beta also is great. Everyone wishes I got Beta. But what you gonna do? Take time to do a fight? Nah. We're gonna skip it. Alright, see you next time.